That's not how it is. Like, everyone's asleep. Like, okay, you know, we're gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and raid this place. No,
I
you
picture
get 2 days
like the
warning.
opening. I picture like the opening scene in Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
Everyone's
literally.
grabbing weapons and doing the songs and drums.
Yeah, literally. So, get that PTO approved, boys, because otherwise you're losing everything. So... Saying to gather your logs, pull them up to the campfire, and we're gonna get started. This week we're talking.
I'm gonna fix the lighting in my room.
Oh, this fucking kid, he had so much time. He had so much time. I listened to 2 bops, 2 jams.
What'd you listen to?
I mean, if you had the stream up, you would have been jamming, dude. Just bops. It's just royalty
Well,
free.
I can't have
jam?
the stream up and listen to it. I have to be in it.
You could have it up while we're doing the morning bops, though.
I guess.
Dude, I had some fresh brews pumping out there.
Yeah, Jordan, you got those hookah lounge vibes.
Yeah, what is this? Dude, this kid's looks like Two-Face over there.
This is the best I can do. This is the best I can do.
Yeah, can we get some donos from chat to buy this kid a fucking ring light?
No,
he
I
has a
have
nicer
it.
camera than me.
I have the ring light built in.
He's got
But the
same
thing is,
camera
it
I
goes
have.
right into my face. Hold on, I gotta wait for the delay, see how it works. It doesn't really do
Didn't do
anything.
anything, dude.
So I'd rather just not be blinded. But anyways, let's get into it. So I thought in the first episode, we kind of just wanted to jump into it. But for the second episode, for people who aren't familiar with One Great Take, kind of introduce ourselves, who we are, what we do, and all that. So, we could do it college style. Go around the room, everyone say their name and one thing about them.
Yeah,
Hi, my name is Mark, and my favorite movie is National Treasure.
Okay, everyone. Chat just dropped from 10 views to 0.
I've literally seen it like 50 times, at least 50 times, probably closer to 100. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not proud.
That's 200 hours of your life.
I could recite the movie. No, I'm serious.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Anyway, Julian, tell us about yourself.
I'm just reading my bio that's on OGT. Well, onegreattake.com. It says, lover of all things fantasy, except for Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. All RPGs all the time. Western, Japanese strategy, MMO, tabletop. Kingler is the best Pokemon, and I'm never playing Final Fantasy VIII. Okay. That's really all you need to know about me. It doesn't get much deeper than that.
We got a good taste of the 3 of us last podcast.
I need a little more taste of you.
A little more taste of me? Well, I've never been good at games. I don't know why you're listening to my opinion about them. And yeah, I like all things media. And now our newest, not really the newest, but wasn't here last week. Take it away, Jordan.
Yeah. All right, short story. We're all from Connecticut, born and raised. We're all in our late 20s, early 30s. I actually turned 30 yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Give me some Field Birthday Man in the chat. And we started One Great Take in November of last year. And we, on our website, www.onegreattake.com, we cover all sorts of digital media, mostly TV shows, movies, and video games. But
disgusting.
Dude. Anyways, on on Twitch, we mostly deal with video games, stream games, and then our Digital Campfire interactive podcast that you're watching right now deals exclusively with video games, video game industry, and all that. So let's get into it. So the first half of the show is, and probably a majority of the show is going to be on the Xbox Game Showcase that happened a couple of days ago. Just to get something out of the way, pretty much all of us, including OGTJ, who is not here, he's in the chat, I think. We're all pretty much PlayStation guys. Maybe Mark would say he's dabbled in Xbox.
I mean, I was an Xbox guy until like PS3.
PS3.
Yeah.
Not like late PS3.
Yeah.
Or mid-late PS3.
Xbox 360 was the last one I had. But I mean, I think it got bad after that.
Can we take it back to the console war? really
No,
quick?
we're not. No,
Come
we're
on.
not doing that. It's toxic.
We have.
No,
to.
we have. I mean, we have to because there's a big thing that the Xbox games showcase. None of those games are exclusive. Let's just get that out of the way. They're the ones that say exclusive. They're launch exclusives, meaning they're gonna have exclusivity for a short amount of time.
So everything's gonna be on PC.
Yes, every single game, at least on PC. Some of them on PS5 as well.
Someone on PS5.
So when they say no first party like exclusives or whatever they're calling it, that's strictly just because they're all on PC, right? That's
Right.
what they mean.
Yeah, so if you have a PC,
I don't think it's a bad
you can
thing.
play any game.
Yeah,
from
I don't
Xbox.
necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's just a weird thing that like, why should I buy an Xbox if you have a PC like already? Or
Well, this is what we talked about last week. It's like why does this exist?
All right, so let's back up here because this started this generation where Microsoft has pretty much said, why are we trying to fight Sony with Xbox when we could leverage our 99% market share when it comes to computer gaming and kind of bridge the ecosystem? So they came in with what was it, Xbox Play Anywhere, where you can share save files between your PC and your Xbox, and like you just buy the game once, you can play it on each. And they also they have like a Games Pass, which I think works on both. I could be wrong. So that's kind of been the thing that they're going with. So when you guys say it's not exclusive, it's kind of misleading because it's exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
Right.
yeah.
But it doesn't push you or it doesn't push someone with a gaming PC to go buy the new Xbox.
Yeah, dude, I'm still not buying a fucking Xbox.
Yeah,
no matter
right.
what.
The Xbox is for
I fought in the console
people
wars
that don't
for
have a
this,
PC.
Well, you guys
I
got to
don't think
remember,
you guys were ever buying an Xbox. I think
But
it's,
you have to
it's just
understand
good
that
for gamers.
Never had a principal.
all right, but not everyone has a $2,000 gaming PC like
Yeah.
we all do. So
No,
you
I
have
know.
to
That's what I'm
understand
saying.
that,
For
that
people
PC
without
is
it,
kind of like,
it's good.
forget about PC right now. It's kind of like, back in the day when we were 17, it was Xbox or PlayStation. So I don't think that the games being on PC also really hurt them in any way, except because you're still gonna buy it on PC. They're making money either way. They're not looking at it as Xbox versus PlayStation. They're looking at it as Microsoft versus Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's an exclusive in that sense. I'll give them that.
Okay. So I just defended Xbox. Kind of shit on you guys, but
Welcome to Jordan.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not gonna go against your point. I think it's a good thing.
Okay, but if you only had to choose, if you're 17 and you only had to choose between a PlayStation and Xbox, you're still not going Xbox.
Well, I think you are if you played Xbox since you were growing up. You kind of just.
But if you're 17, that means you probably grow up on PS4.
Maybe, but
Dude,
this
I
isn't.
know so many people that have had that are like casual gamers that have like had an Xbox their whole life.
Yeah.
They will always get the new Xbox no matter what it is.
Because they're like 35 now and they grew up on 360. They got baited by 360.
Yeah, but like you're
Okay,
talking like Jin Sake fucking getting rid of his honor to go switch sides. Like, yeah, you're not gonna do that because you've been a PlayStation fanboy since day one. But like, we know a lot of people that, yeah, like Mark said, casual gamers that have always played Xbox and they've never touched a PlayStation.
Well, they're not smart,
Different breed,
maybe.
different breed, man, different breed.
listen, I love them
Granger
both.
says 360 wins over PS3. That's just incorrect.
Well, 360 did do some work.
360 was
Wait,
got
wait,
a lot
but
of people
I
into
can,
the
I had
Xbox
both.
platform.
And my 360 I sold within 2 months. So
So 360 was good for like a week.
Yeah, we're outnumbered here.
no,
No,
I mean I
that's-
bought 360 strictly to try to play with Jared and Mark.
No, 360 was
God,
a great console.
Dude,
And I think
Grog,
that Xbox One, they kind of went away from Xbox 360 was marketed towards hardcore gamers. And then with Xbox One, they tried to be like, oh, you could stream your TV through your Xbox, and
through
you
your
can
PlayStation, they messed up.
you could
during their
do
pitch.
you could do Just Dance, and they got away from the hardcore. Like I loved it, like Gears of War, Halo. Like you logged on, all your boys were sweating.
Yeah. He got home from school, pull up the friends list, trying to get. We used to play Gears 1 and used to have kids trying to fight to get into a game. Because it was
Well,
like, was it
only
4-on-4 or
4v4.
5-on-5? Was it 4
Dude, I used to
4v4.
beg at Jared's feet, like, please let me get in the squad. Let me see those headshots. Come on.
No, Jared's a coffee. But yeah, Halo 2. Yeah.
Halo
speaking
2 on
of-
360?
No, not Halo 2. Halo, that was original Xbox.
No,
But yeah.
Xbox System Link was lit though, because I used to go down the street to my friend's house. We'd link up the two Xboxes and just play Halo, like
No,
one
no,
squad
no,
in the
Xbox-
living room,
Xbox
one in
One.
the back room.
Xbox original was popping. 360 was cool for a couple years.
Yeah.
But speaking of Halo, if we're gonna go looking at the Xbox game showcase, kind of the biggest game they have, Halo Infinite. That's supposed to come out later this year, holiday 2020. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for it. I'm super pumped for it personally. I'm a huge Halo person, but haven't played a couple of the last Halo I think I played was Halo Reach.
Are you really a big Halo person?
Yeah, you're
I think
reaching
I
on
could
that statement then. Come on.
You sound like a medium Halo person.
Okay, I used to be a big Halo guy, and then I fell off. You know, I stopped getting Xbox, and then I just couldn't play it. Kind of like Gears. I used to be a big Gears guy, and then I'd be a phony now if I said I'm a big Gears guy. But anyways, couple things. Looks like old Halo to me. Has that kind of old Halo vibe to it. A little nostalgia. I've been watching like streamers play Master Chief Collection, and like it just brings back like this nostalgia that makes me want to get the new Halo game. I know maybe I'll get it and I won't like it, but I think I just burped. I think just like seeing people play it and thinking about like getting home from school and going on Halo. Maybe I'm not remembering it in the best. Maybe I'm remembering it better than it actually was, but I'm excited for the game. Do you guys have any thoughts about it? Dan, I know you aren't a big Halo guy. Do you see yourself playing this new one?
I mean, yeah, I was never big on Halo. I used to play it, like I said, back on the original Xbox. We played just with system links. I never played it online. I didn't own an Xbox. I actually did buy Halo. I think it was the first Halo I bought for PC because I wanted to play it so bad. And my probably like original Dell could not run it. I couldn't play online. So I would play single player with like, it looked like it was made out of clay because the graphics had to be all in the minimum settings. So
Clay
I was
fighter.
never like against Halo in principle. It always looked fun. Watching the streamers play the Master Chief Collection now, it's like, it looks fun. Like I know I'd have fun if I had a squad. I don't think I'd play it alone, like without friends. My big thing is like, I'm curious, and Bender threw it in the chat. He said there's a BR, right? So I mean, automatically a good Halo game, but I don't think they announced anything about a BR. But I actually texted Mark right after I saw the trailer, and I asked, like, do you think they're gonna do it? Because I feel like it's the
No,
only
but
way.
Dan, he's talking about battle rifle.
Oh, battle rifle.
Yeah.
I thought he
you
said
played
there's
yourself.
a BR, as in I played myself. Bender played me. But yeah, so I actually texted
So
Mark.
yeah,
and,
fuck this game.
Do you think they're gonna have a battle royale mode on it? And I think it's something that in 2020 you almost like have to tack on. But then it could upset the hardcore Halo community.
If your whole thing is like, yo, OG Halo, then
Right,
why?
you don't want it.
Yeah, I said no, I don't want it. Jordan, would you want it?
All right, I gotta back up here. So watching the trailer, I think that the way they did the environments and the textures, they really wanted to hit that Halo, like classic look. And if I had not read anything, just seen that video, I would have thought it was Halo 1 4K. Like that's exactly what it looks like. As far as my history with Halo, I remember the system links. Halo 2 was in the top games of all time article that we wrote. I gave it one of the only games, I think maybe like 3 or 4 games in my life that I would give it 10 out of 10. But I really fell off with Halo, and one interesting thing is that if Halo Infinite releases on Xbox and PC simultaneously, that will actually be huge because Halo was kind of like the last bastion that Microsoft was keeping for Xbox. And now I know they've been putting a lot of the games like Master Chief Collection on PC. So if Halo Infinite drops on both at the same time, then it's pretty much the merger of the ecosystems is pretty much complete. As far as a battle royale, not 1% chance they'll do it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm not. No, I wasn't
But
saying.
then
Do you
again,
think
though,
they'll?
for a game that's so based around weapons on map, it wouldn't
But
be the
not like
worst.
that. Not in that way.
No, I'm not saying they should do it.
I'm not saying they would
Halo-
focus on it, but you don't think they'd tack it on?
Nope.
Never.
Halo is all about classic, 2 decades ago style multiplayer. They're not going to do battle royale. Trust me, the Halo community is like they added Sprint into the game, and it was a huge deal that's still going on. Like
Yeah.
people want classic Halo. People are going back to play the Master Chief Collection for 2 or 3. They will shoot themselves in their foot if they try to be like, "Oh, we've got a new trendy battle royale." Everyone will instantly be like, "All right, dude, this isn't real Halo." So no, not 1% chance.
I want to know the rest of your 10 out of 10 games, though.
Read the article.
Yeah, well, you could find the article on www.onegreattake.com, and the San Andreas.
Link in the description.
He's a company man.
San Andreas,
Da-na-na.
Halo 2. A lot of games are close. Pokemon Gold. Those are the 3 main ones because I do have 2 other ones, but they're not like huge games that people would associate with 10 out of 10s, which would be PT and Doki Doki Literature Club.
I don't even, and that's the one I'm not allowed to look up.
Because they're masterpieces within their genre. But those 3 that I mentioned, was it 3 or 4? Those are like the true masterpieces.
Okay.
Okay, so Jay is saying my questions. Is there confirmed multiplayer? Yes, there's confirmed multiplayer.
Jay, you thought it was gonna be a single player Halo?
They time him out, please. Time him
Yeah,
out.
someone
Yeah,
ban this kid.
Bender. Then he said
He's a
community.
mod.
He
He's
said
a
community
mod.
split. He said community split over if they want BR or not.
Well, it's
I
not
don't-
really the community's choice.
That's not a question. First of all, that is not a question. That's a statement.
I don't think that's true either. And then 3, that was an unfinished game, but why show that at biggest showcase? So many memes now.
Yeah, because okay. So that was something that was brought up immediately that people were freaking out about how bad the graphics looked. I didn't think they looked that bad, but I was also watching kind of like watching a streamer watch it, and I just assumed it was whatever. But yeah, someone showed some comparisons of other games that were shown in like a demo form and then what it looked like on release. And it was like, okay, like, calm down. Like it's going to look a lot better when it comes out.
Wait, I'm watching the YouTube video. It doesn't look that bad.
I
think
didn't
it looks
notice
bad
either until people started posting like screenshots and whatever.
I saw like the
Like I
screenshot
said,
of the brute, but I thought it was a meme.
I think they're going for a classic art style, and that's what people are not understanding. So very clean, like before the textures were super in depth, the gun just
like
looks kind of
glossy.
like
Limited HUD. I like the way it looks.
So my hot take on Halo in the past, 10 years has always, every time I play a Halo game, I'm stuck in this in between. This is literally just Halo 2, and I also have the feeling of this shit is stupid. This ain't classic Halo. So it's like it's not Halo 2 enough, and it's like too much away from Halo 2 at the same time, and I can't really like get into it. Excuse me, what's the last Halo game you played? I mean, I've sat down and played.
Probably Halo 2.
Reach,
Yeah.
no.
Don't lie to us.
No, Reach. And then Ed had Halo 4 for a little bit. I definitely played the ones with like loadouts. I've played like the ADS ones, the ones with loadouts. I mean, not like seriously, but like I played a couple rounds, and it's like, oh, I can't get into this. Like, this is just Halo 2 all over again. But then also, it's like, damn, this is stupid. They changed this from Halo 2. Like now there's sprinting, and now there's like ADS and
Yeah, so
and
let's.
loadouts.
We missed what Bender said in chat. So Easy Bake He said, as someone who's played all the main Halo games and actually played some multiplayer Halo 5, I couldn't give a fuck what it looks like. I want the guns and movement to feel good. And I think that's what I've heard echoed, at least, that, you know, people want it to feel like Halo. And that's, I would say that's probably what they have to stick to if they want to keep that player base. I just really don't know how they're gonna, like, somebody's pitching the idea, like, just tack on a shitty BR to try to get the young kids to play it that didn't grow up with Halo.
I just still feel like they run the risk of it feeling too archaic. You know,
Yeah.
it's similar to like turn-based like Final Fantasy games. You want it, you want it, you want it, and then you play it, and you're like, yeah, this is a little dry. So, but then again, like I was saying, if you change it and you add sprint and you add all these other new mechanics, then people say like it's not classic, it doesn't feel right. So that's where I've always kind of been.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what game I reviewed, but I was talking about how that's always going to be the issue with making a sequel. You have to straddle that line between two different and two same, and it's tough. It's really tough. This isn't even the sequel. But I got an idea here. So the next thing on the list is State of Decay 3, but none of us have played that. So I'm going to ask
Jay
Jimmy
did, yeah.
to give his thoughts in the chat, and then we'll come back to him. Because there's another game here that we can talk about, or mostly Julian, which is Avowed. And we saw it at the Xbox Game Showcase. It's made by Obsidian, who actually made Fallout New Vegas.
In Outer Worlds.
Which is ironic because people are calling this a Skyrim
and Pillars of Eternity.
And Pillars of Eternity too. No release date, not much. Just like a minute and a half video. And yeah, the only thing I can say is, like, from an outsider, is it looked like Skyrim. But James, what was your take?
Okay, so as far as Western RPGs go, I actually don't play the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. I go more for like the isometric. So really, I'm more hyped on the fact that the Pillars of Eternity world is still being expanded on, because we kind of thought that it was dead in the community once Microsoft bought out or acquired Obsidian. We were like, oh, this fucking world's fucked. But I guess it's not, which is good. Will I play it? Maybe. Like I said, I'm not really big on like first person Skyrim style games. I played a little bit of Oblivion and that's it. So, and there's not really a lot of details anyways. We just kind of just know it takes place in Aora. But I mean, I could vouch for the developer that, the Pillars of Eternity 1, it's one of the only like really big long games that I've played through twice in my adult life. And
Wait, hold up. Avowed is in the Pillars of Eternity universe?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I see. So technically
you talking
Outer
about the
Worlds
devs?
could be in the same universe.
Yeah, do you got an inside guy?
What do you mean? I thought that was like basic knowledge.
I mean, it's not definitely not basic knowledge, but now I'm questioning if it's even true. Because
we were talking about it on Reddit Project Eternity.
Okay, so it's coming from Reddit. It's coming from Reddit. If Julian's lying, just remember that's his integrity and not ours.
The guys, the banners on the castle are banners to Wodica. It's a god in Aora.
Okay, well, I never played Pillars of Eternity. I believe you, Julian, but only because I trust you so much as a dear friend. But if you're wrong, just don't expect everyone else.
But that's really like
to trust you.
I mean, that's really the problem is though, like nobody knows that world. And outside of a few things, it's pretty much a standard fantasy world. So I can't be like, it's going to be great because it's going to have like this crazy mechanic in it. I don't know how they're going to spice it up and differentiate it from Skyrim and things like that. But I mean, maybe they don't even have to. Maybe the formula is already just good. But it definitely should be a game that everybody should look out for because it's by a good dev. It's in a strong world. And
what's your if you had to
people like Skyrim and all that.
If you had to rank your hype level, how hyped are you?
6.
6 out of 10?
Yeah, well, because I don't like that kind of gameplay.
Where does that fall on the scale of deportation to date with this cute Brazilian girl?
Wait? How hyped was I
Yeah,
for her to get
where does it
deported?
fall? No, that's a
Oh,
zero. The deportation
yeah,
was
I
a
was a
zero.
zero.
That was my scale. That was the 0, and then the date was the 10. So that's what I'm trying to see where it falls.
6.
I guess in between
Still
that.
6.
So I mean, it
What
should
a
be kind of
scale.
on everybody's radar. I don't think you should run to GameStop and pre-order it, but if it ends up getting decent reviews, then check it out. But none of us really play Skyrim. Hales, did you play any Skyrim?
Typically with me, I never beat any games, so I don't think I've beat a game all of
God,
2020.
nobody beats Skyrim.
Okay, but even with
People put
Oblivion,
thousands of hours.
I played Oblivion. I never beat it, but I liked it.
Usually where everybody's at.
And I played Skyrim, but I never beat it. I didn't get very far in Skyrim. Usually, like big games like that, like huge open world games like that, I tend to get overwhelmed, and then there's so much shit to do, and I don't know where to start, and then I just never end up finishing.
Okay, so Flipper's brought up a good point. I mean, if it's a Skyrim-esque but with more D&D, so Pillars of Eternity, the game mechanics are just like the next version of Dungeons and Dragons, like the way it calculates rolls and things like that, the way it does accuracy and hit chance and all that kind of stuff. But the problem with that is if you turn it into an action game, like how are you good? You can't resolve things with a D20 or a D100 now that it's an action game. Like if I bring my sword across the goblin's face, like that's a fucking hit. So it's going to be really hard to get that Dungeons and Dragons core rules style-esque gameplay in something that's a first-person, action slasher kind of game now. So I thought about that, but I wouldn't hold out on that. You're not going to. I'm dying. It's not going to be like Pillars of Eternity where things are actually written like D100, like it actually writes that. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. But I can't see a good way for them to incorporate stuff like that. Hopefully, they just keep Pillars of Eternity as their isometric Dungeons and Dragons rule set, style thing. So this will be like a little spit off. I think it takes place at a different time period too than the Pillars of Eternity and the sequel to that. So that would be cool, but I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I wouldn't expect it.
I tried to play Oblivion like 5 times and I never got past like 20 minutes because the first person is just so awkward to me. Like fighting, like slashing somebody in first person is just so goofy. It's like, yeah. And I'm
You're
just
like
not
swinging,
about
like,
it.
and it's just like hitting, like slapping him in the face with your sword.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm a JRPG guy through and through. So
Wasn't that like a big thing back there before we move on? Like emerging from like that beginning area into like the open world. I remember that being like a big thing. Like
you talk about the
graphics-wise.
meme when you wake up.
No, I don't.
No.
You're talking about right when you come out of the sewer and
Yeah.
you see like Cyrodiil for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like
like
unbelievable. You'll never
did-
forget that shit.
I did like making the most grotesque, obscene character that I possibly could. Like,
Yeah, you got to make that fish.
like,
Who's that
yeah,
fish?
my guy looked like
I'll send you the picture.
Is that the fish man?
elephantitis of every single appendage, whatever it's called. All right, so here's the thing: we're calling out to Jimmy again. Jimmy,
I don't even know if
You
he's
can
here.
hear us.
He's probably still drunk from last night, honestly. I don't know if anyone tuned in to Jay's
Yeah.
stream last night.
Yeah.
That boy was lit. What
Well,
did he
because the
drink?
next-
Like 4 seltzers, maybe?
we had seltzer shots. We were having fun. But anyways, because the next game is the Medium, which I actually could talk about because I played Observer, but Jay played Observer and both Layers of Fear, so I'd like to get his input. So Jay, if you're out there, State of Decay 3 and the Medium. So we'll move on right now to CrossfireX.
No, wait. We could talk medium though. We could talk medium.
No, I want to get the full input. What are you doing?
Definish. He's holding the phone up.
Wait, post it in the chat. I guess you're looking out for our YouTube viewers. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay, so
Crossfire X,
what-
at first look, it looks like another military shooter, but there's actually some interesting things about Crossfire X. Number one, it came out in 2007. and it has been an absolute phenomenon in Asia. So,
Let me see this game.
the Anglosphere.
Let me
loves
see
Call of
this
Duty.
game. We got to take a pause right there. He said, "Let
Why?
me see this game." He is on a gaming podcast right now where Jordan so graciously created a document including links to.
I'm using it right now.
On his birthday. He's working on his birthday. Put this together for him, and Julian couldn't even bother clicking the fucking link. He doesn't even know what the game is. Fucking disgraceful. All right, we got. What are we doing here? We got the wrong.
This came out in 2007.
We got the wrong brother in
Decent
there. Johnny's
These are
played all
decent
these
graphics for
games. He could be
07.
in here.
It's been upscaled and whatnot, but listen. Let me get to what I'm saying. Right. So you got America has their Call of Duty. Europe loves their Counter-Strike. Asia loves CrossfireX, and it's never come over. So it's free to play. It's from Asia, and so that's the one interesting part, is that this is actually a humongous game that most people don't know about. It's been around for a while. But number two, we are getting a single player for the Western release, created by Remedy Entertainment. If you read my Control review, you'll know that I have played every single one of their games: Alan Wake's American Nightmare, Quantum Break, and Control. So it's very odd for them to be doing an FPS single player after what they've kind of done, which is more of like the third person action adventure.
Was Quantum Break in the same universe as Alan Wake and Control?
Oh, if you read my review, it's kind of complicated.
No, I remember you talking about the Alan Wake time.
So
I just can't remember.
I don't know about Alan Wake and Quantum Break, but what happened is that they broke off from Microsoft after Quantum Break, and then re-bought the Alan Wake IP. So there are direct references in Control to Alan Wake. They are in the same universe. Quantum Break was left out because Microsoft still owns Quantum Break. But I can't remember if in Quantum Break there were references to Alan Wake. Yeah,
they said the game was originally supposed to be a sequel to Alan Wake, but the game's focus shifted to time travel, as Microsoft wanted a new intellectual property with interactive storytelling. So I guess it was originally supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Quantum Break in 2020. But anyways, because it is kind of interesting, because remember Microsoft brought out Steven Spielberg and they were going to blur the lines between movies and video games. Yeah. And he was going to make a Halo series. Well, the Halo series bombed, and the 20-minute live action cutscenes in Quantum Break, like, they were the ones that kind of got stuck with doing it. Like, no one else wanted to do it, and then they're like, all right, I guess we'll be the ones to fall on the sword. And I liked it personally. But
Jimmy answered you.
All right, what does he say here? No, what the heck? He's
answering about one game.
Oh, he's talking about.
Yeah, Jay. The only one that came through is you talking about Remedy making this Crossfire.
Which is not what we wanted. Is he texting maybe?
Yeah, Jay. I don't know if it's working.
I'm looking at the fish.
We gotta put it in chat. Put the fish in chat.
But Jay said about Crossfire. He said, "I don't really know why Remedy is making a campaign like this. I just think it's odd. The trailer does look really good though, and they said they're drawing from Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil, which is just a weird mix, but straight up Jimmy bait." Yeah, Jay drinks his morning coffee with out of his fucking. What game does he have the mug from Kojima?
Death Stranding.
Oh, Death Stranding. It's his Death Stranding mug. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a huge Kojima guy, and obviously, if you ever watch our stream, he streams a lot of Resident Evil. So that's why he kind of said that it's like right up at his alley to kind of bait people like him. Those are two of his favorite games. So. Yeah, Death Stranding. Yeah, I just went mind blanks.
Crossfire. Crossfire looked pretty lit.
Yeah, that was the campaign though. You watched the campaign trailer?
I watched whatever was linked in the document.
The campaign trailer. It looks really cool.
But it looked like it had like some cool like ghosty stuff. Like he went like Ghost. I don't know why this is the symbol for ghost.
Yeah,
but
what is that?
It just means like you're a ghost.
A little woo.
Yeah.
Shit.
Kids drive. I
So,
knew he had plans
I
today.
would play that.
Wait, I fucking knew it. I called it. He said he had plans at 1. I said, Jay, I think you're doing brunch or something early and you're not fucking telling us. And he's fucking driving. I fucking knew it. Jay, I want to know exactly where you were.
Yeah, Jay, I want you to share your location with the
Yeah, with the whole world. I want you to share your actual location to this chat. But yeah, I mean, how long are we gonna wait to talk about Medium for this kid?
Oh no, we're not. Just go to. I have a State of Decay thing. One sec. I'm putting the links in the chat.
Yes. While we're waiting, Dan, are we? We got top 10, top 3. Are we still doing our top 3 later? Mystery top 3. You guys
Oh,
know
dude,
about
no,
yet?
we're doing the top 3, and I hope that it creates a good discussion.
All right, here's Jay's take on State of Decay. State of Decay 1 was great. When I had Xbox One for Siege, the only other game I had was State of Decay. Played all the campaign and DLC. Just open world zombies with missions and survivors to bring back and build up a settlement. State of Decay 2 was hype reveal trailer. Was really pushing like an open world co-op, but ended up being just your friends could come into your game and help you. I have it for play anywhere on PC and only put a few hours in because it was rinsed and repeated of State of Decay 1. Maybe now that they are owned by Xbox, they can deliver on their original vision going forward. Okay, so I guess the developers were actually purchased by Xbox. But it really has to change things up and dive deeper. It can't just be running around killing zombies and gathering supplies again.
You read that like a book report.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the narration, but no, Nick actually said in chat earlier, and we just kind of glossed over because it was Nick.
What the
No,
fuck?
I'm kidding. But he said that he tried to play co-op with Jay and it was a big fail because the game wasn't true co-op. So yeah, Nick and Jay shared that same.
Can we talk about how Justin actually changed his Twitch name to include EFT for
Yeah, it's
Escape
amazing
Tarkov?
move though. He's not playing Rainbow Six anymore.
But why do you have to call out your game? Like,
Why not?
When you
dude?
only play one game at a time, you might as well rep it.
Yeah.
Very strange.
You're allowed like one change a month, so as long as he can stick to a game for a month, he's set. No PvP,
So
Jay?
Fable.
No. Medium. We're gonna go back to the medium.
What is medium?
No, Medium looks great. So
Medium looks
Medium's a horror game.
Observer.
Yeah, Medium is a horror game from the makers of Layers of Fear, Observer, Blair Witch Project. And Jay streamed Observer. And
Observer. I like watching Observer.
yeah. So
Jordan played Observer.
Jordan played Observer too, but he didn't stream it. I said Jay streamed it.
Okay. Well,
So Medium's whole thing, the unique aspect of it is that it seems to be happening on whether it's 2 realities, 2 dimensions, whatever. There's kind of this. It almost reminded me of Silent Hill at first. I kind of thought the teaser was going to be a Silent Hill game, where the person's kind of walking around in, what looks like, we'll say like an abandoned building, but like it keeps splitting to this harsher reality and more supernatural. The thing that looks really cool about it is your movements and actions going on in one realm are going on in the other realm at the same time. So I think there's going to be a really cool dichotomy between what's going on in each. And I could see there being some really cool like puzzles and situations that go into that. But George, do you want to read what Jay's take was on that? He's our horror buff.
Well, where's his take?
Yeah, where's his take?
Oh, I thought you said that you had it.
No, I have a State of Decay.
All right. Well, Jimmy's out anyway.
I'll gladly get in.
Yeah, get into it. You played Observer.
All right, I love Observer. So as far as the kind of like mixed reality thing, now I've played a few segments like that. There was one in Titanfall 2, there was one in Hellblade, a few in Hellblade, and I think there was a few in Control. But it was always that you like switched back and forth. So, there's a gate here, I can't get through. Let me switch to the other reality. Oh, in the other reality, it's open. So I go through, switch back, switch blah, blah, blah. This game is trying to do them at the same time. Like your screen is literally split. and you're moving the guy in both realities at the same exact time. I didn't play Layers of Fear or Blair Witch, but I played Observer, and I just loved the whole aesthetic and the vibe they were giving off. It's like it's super creepy. They're not scared of him, like jump scares, loud noises, all that. Like they don't beat around the bush and try to be suspenseful and all that. Like they come at you, and I loved it. I'm really excited for this game. It definitely looks like one game that I would 100% play, and I can almost guarantee that Jay will be streaming it for us. So
Well,
I
Who
I mean,
knows? Might be
I-
driving.
I told him that he has to get it day one and stream it, or I'm calling the cops. So I mean, he will be streaming it for us.
So I like watching all these horror games, but I think it's just me personally. It's like all these games look super cool and I want to play them, but ooh, pup. But I just can't like I start to play and I just get basically just too scared. Like I'm just a little bitch. Make that the intro.
Visage is the only one that I actually couldn't do. It's the only game that's been too.
But I played the original. I played Dead Space 1, but like games like that, I have to play for a little bit and then I have to stop because I just can't do it. And it's sort of like horror movies. I don't really go see horror movies in real life either. Like I just don't. I guess tell me what's the like. What do you get out of like
We're
feeling
talking about medium
scared
now, Ashley.
or just being scared all the time? Maybe it's just me that like I'm gonna take these movies home with me or these games and I'm gonna like apply them to real life. Like so that when I'm home alone next time, I'm afraid I'm going to get murdered. Maybe that doesn't happen for you.
So, Mark, I'm actually like I'm the same when it comes to games. I mean, and I'm different from you because I actually like horror movies.
Yeah, you like horror movies.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like with movies, it's I guess it's easier to separate yourself and you're like, it's a movie. But like in a game where like I'm in control, dude, I get so like Resident Evil is a perfect example for me because Resident Evil 4 to me was not so much scary as it was, it gives you anxiety more than fear. But it was more of an action game, so I was able to play through that one. But like if you threw me into like Resident Evil 7, I don't know, like just something about it. Like Mark said, like my heart is racing the whole time and I feel uncomfortable. I don't know why Jay likes that feeling so much. Or is it that I'm just a pussy too, like Mark, and now you got two big pusses and we don't like that feeling because we're just not as manly as Jay with his White Claws.
Last game Vandy says last horror game I played was Amnesia with me in the cockpit. Dude, Amnesia.
I remember that.
All those games are just like stress where like, especially games like I really, here's an example. I really, really recently wanted to play like Resident Evil 2, like the remake. But I just knew that I like that constant looming of I forget his name, but the guy just always around. Like I just wouldn't be able to do that. It's so anxious. It makes me so anxious. Dan Jay said he likes the anxiety. I don't know why.
Jay, don't you get enough anxiety from work?
I haven't played as many horror games as Jay, but I have played like mine that I play aren't like straight horror. They're more like psychological. And to me, it's just interesting how the developer can create these emotions in you and create a general vibe through pretty much everything in the game. The music, the dialogue, like Doki Doki Literature Club, PT, some other ones I played? Soma. Played that really bad game where you're in the scuba suit. I don't know, I can't remember, but it's just that idea of like what they're doing to create this tension and this anxiety and this world. It's not so much you like being scared. I don't think anybody likes having their heart racing.
Right, but like that's what Mark was saying. Like we can watch those games and appreciate all the same things without feeling terrible and going to bed like, I'm not going to bed begging Jess to big spoon me.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to move on to the last one from the Xbox?
Yeah, this is the one.
More Last of Us talk with Dan?
No, please not.
No. There's actually one game, but I didn't put it on here, but we should at least call it out.
You skipped it, and I want to bring it up.
Is it the Rare game?
Everwild I was going to talk about. Is that Rare?
Yeah. So it's by the developers, the legendary developers of Donkey Kong, Killer Instinct, Sea of Thieves,
So
etc.
so we had done originally, before COVID came and derailed all of our plans, we had originally planned to kind of do this as a podcast instead of a live interactive podcast, and we actually recorded just some test run episodes on like shittier equipment. And we did our most anticipated games, which we released as an article, but it more so focused on just a few of us. But Everwild was actually in my honorable mentions that I was like, I didn't know if I was hyped for yet because there wasn't really much info at all yet. And
Well, I just watched the trailer. It doesn't look like there's still much info.
Right, but like there was even less then. But I remember seeing it and being like, okay, I really like this art style, and it looks like it could be like kind of like a more like more like Zelda Wind Waker style, like mix of like that really aesthetic feel. But I was hoping for like an adventure style gameplay like that. I guess I'm still, even if you click that link and watch it, I think it's a minute. I still don't know, I guess, what's going to be the gameplay per se, but I mean, the art style has me excited.
Dude, I think I had Elden Ring. That's what my anticipated
Which
game
might not
is.
even be a 2021 game.
Yeah, I already erased that off the whiteboard. That's not coming out.
And then I think I had Dying Light 2 on it too. I like Dying Light. That wasn't too scary for me. Anyways.
Well, Dying Light was great.
So, Jordan, did you have like an opinion on Everwild, or I mean, or is
I
it
did not. I mean, I only saw the trailer, and all I could say is the art style looks nice. I have no idea what the game could possibly be. It could be a platformer. It could be Zelda. There's like not one indication. So
I'm just not really. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like jaded. I'm just not big on trailers anymore. I just don't really care until like a week before the game's actually coming out. Like even the Suikoden game. I mean, I haven't looked it up or anything. If it's coming out 2022, so I'll worry about it in a year and a half. And it's actually funny because Baldur's Gate is like one of my most anticipated games. And when I went to get this tattoo, I don't know if you guys can see it. The girl was like, "Oh yeah, like Baldur's Gate 3," and I'm like, yeah." And I go and watch the trailer, and it's like they're like the main bad guys, the Mind Flayers of Baldur's Gate 3, and it's like one of my most hyped games because the trailer is either gonna overhype you or spoilers. It's like I'll worry about it when the game comes out. At this point, I know what devs. I know what the devs are gonna put out. Like I said, like I know Obsidian is a good dev. Avowed will be pretty good. So usually it's like, okay, yeah, these guys are making an RPG. It'll be pretty good. I'll worry about it when it comes out. So I don't know. That's just where I am in trailers. So like Everwild, yeah, it looks gorgeous, but is that really enough to get like hyped on it just because it reminds you of Wind Waker? I don't know.
Well, if they remade
I don't
Wind Waker,
think anyone's super hyped on it. Like punch me or
well,
watch.
but then I watched the Fable Revived, and it's like, okay, there's like a toad. It's a fantasy world, like
which is
Fable.
The last game on the list. So Fable, Fable Revived is something that I was actually hoping they would tease. But again, like Jubes is saying, I mean, it's just a tease. I don't even think anything they showed has anything to do with the game. So it was just saying, this is a fantasy game. By the way, remember this game, Fabled. Yeah.
So
we're gonna come out with another one.
So like everybody played the original Fable, right? Like chat too. Like everybody played
I didn't. I've watched it, but I didn't have an Xbox. This is one of those games that I remember begging my mom, like, please just let me get an Xbox so I could play Fable because it just looks so cool where you could go down that dark path, that light path. So I've never even played it. I've seen it, and I'm super pumped to finally be able to because, again, I have a $2,000 game PC, so I could play any Xbox game now.
Let me tell you, son. Fable kind of sucked.
Stop.
All right.
Don't bring the hype down.
I got one thing to say.
Let me fucking talk.
Julian, before you get in, why did you say you begged your mom to let you buy an Xbox?
Because it was like
buy you an Xbox.
Oh, to
to
buy
let
me
you,
an
like,
Xbox. Yeah. Because it was
okay, 'cause
Xbox
you made
One.
it
I
sound
didn't
like
have
you
money.
could buy the Xbox, but she was like, no.
No,
Maybe he
no,
had a
no,
cat,
no.
but she wouldn't
What
drive
was
him.
her deal? She was like, nah, PlayStation all day. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
she
get
said Sony only. She had the Sony symbol tattooed on her back.
it. Sony only. All right, Jules, go.
Okay, so all right, Fable really wasn't that great. And this isn't like me replaying it today and being like, this didn't hold up. Like I was like 4 and I'm like sitting there like, yeah, it kind of sucks. But it was good because it kind of gave everybody that taste of that Western feel. Because Western kind of like it was like only on PC. They didn't hit like that mainstream market yet. And then it would really explode with Oblivion later on. But everybody got that little taste of like that heavy role playing style aspect because we were all playing like Final Fantasies, and you really can't role play in Japanese role playing games. So that was like what the hype was. It was like, dude, if I go to this town and like systematically slaughter every single person, like I'll start to grow horns and things like that. So it was like a good way to like dip your toe. But overall, I don't remember the game having anything else. I feel like once you got the devil horns, you kind of just sat there. It was like I don't
I'm a
really want
bad
to play this game
boy.
anymore.
I'm a
I've killed
bad
I've killed
boy.
everybody, and I just kind of have devil horns now.
That's the thing. Outside of the being good or bad, I don't know anything about the game.
No, it was just a
And I
really
know,
bad action RPG.
I know, hold on. And I know you're gonna say, well, you didn't play it, but like I was around a lot of people playing it who are interested in it and watch people play. I don't know anything about the world. I don't know anything about the characters. I don't know anything about the story. I don't know. I don't even know how the combat system worked. Was it just like square, square, X, triangle, like do a combo? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, it
The
yeah,
only
wasn't on
thing anybody
PlayStation,
cared,
so no.
the
There
only
was no
thing
triangle.
anybody cared about was
getting the horns.
being good or bad, which really only what else was there besides the physical appearance of your character?
All right, but we
Did
have Kenny and
the
John
game-
in chat both telling Jubes to please stop because they enjoyed the game. And
Juice
they
is
think,
being over
they think
150
it's one bad
RPGs.
take.
They
all
have
right,
no
all right,
idea
that's
what they're
fine.
talking
But
about.
then John and Kenny need to explain to us because I truly don't know. Like being good or bad, what did it affect? Did it affect the story? Did it affect the way characters behave towards you? We don't know. Inform
Well,
us.
I mean, when a dude with devil horns walks into your hamlet, like, what are you gonna say? Were they gonna be like, "Oh, hey,
Okay,
what's up?"
so
What?
was that coded into the game or not?
Right,
I
that's what he's
I
asking.
I don't remember because it was a very forgettable game. It wasn't that
All right,
great.
Kenny, can you give us your take on why the game was good? I'm pro Fable. I want to play the new Fable. I got a few years to wait for it, probably. When did they say? Did they not give a release date? No release date. Okay, so like this could be a 2023. You know, me with my first kid. You know, I don't know. Fucking teaching him how to play Fable. I don't know.
We need to have like a guest line that like Kenny's face pops up and he's like, "You don't know the best thing about it."
I mean, we're just on Discord. I could drag him in right now.
No,
Call
no,
him
no,
up.
stop. It'll mess up all the
Oh.
camera stuff. Please
We
don't
got a
do
caller
that.
on the line.
I'll have a conniption. No, I'm about to call him and just put him on
And
speakerphone.
actually, a lot of memories are flowing back into me. I actually almost got kicked out of Josh's house.
For talking shit
Now,
about Fable?
for people who don't know, Josh is like an extension of my own body. Okay, so for him to almost kick me out because he bought Fable 3 and he was playing it for the first time at a sleepover, and I was on the bed just laughing at how bad it was, and he was getting so frustrated, and he almost kicked me out.
Fable
It's
3
not
was like
good.
the Victorian age one, right?
Yeah. He had like he literally was wearing a tricorn, and he had like a Revolutionary War gun, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking garbage, dude.
No, I don't want
I'm
guns.
telling you, dude. Like, go play real Western RPGs. The people sit around on this on Fable and Skyrim. Like, you guys need to actually stop.
So what if I'm someone who's interested in Fable, I never played it. What game would you recommend to me instead? What Western should I be playing instead that you think is better and better for someone who's
None. You would not enjoy any of the games that he plays. They're literally like sitting there with an Excel spreadsheet. They're not interesting. They're trash. They're overdone in every single way, shape, and form. And I hate them.
Okay.
Either play Divinity
I
or
can't stand Western RPGs. They're everything unfun about RPGs exploded 500 times while removing all the quirky stuff that makes it great.
yeah. If
Jay,
it's not Japanese, you don't care. That's completely untrue. I've played more Western RPGs in the past few years than anything. 2 Divinities, Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate. What are we doing here?
All right.
moving on.
But
is what
no,
we're
no,
doing.
play Divinity. Everybody should play Divinity.
I heard Divinity's pretty good, but those other
No,
games you play,
Divinity is
dude,
unbelievable.
those other games where you're just sitting there rolling dice for. My guy hits a critical glanced hit to your right shin for 2.6 damage, multiplied by 1.3 because I rolled a 17.6 on crash.
He
Dude.
rolled a
Crash.
17.6.
How many sides are on that die?
Dude, you should see the fucking dice, dude. I've seen 100-sided die. I've seen things no man should ever see.
Thank you, Nick. Nick understands me. Nick knows I'm the RPG guru. I never give Nick duds ever.
All right, listen. We're gonna give our closing thoughts on the Xbox Game Showcase, and then we're gonna take one great break. So my take is that some cool stuff outside of the medium, nothing new. Another Halo, another State of Decay, another Skyrim, another FPS. I guess
Another
you could
Fable.
say Fable, because we don't. Is it gonna be just another Fable? I heard rumors that it could be an MMO.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, in Everwild, I just don't know too much. So, I guess maybe that was a little harsh, but I mean, I said the same thing about PlayStation's thing, and I really want to do like a whole podcast on this last gen and what we want from next gen, because my main thing is that I want new styles of gameplay, not just the same 5 games made over and over and over again. But, anyways, some cool stuff. Nothing too new, nothing that I'm like literally sitting here and going crazy over, except the medium.
I would say one big thing between PlayStation and Xbox was that when I watched PlayStation Showcase, like I was like blown away by the graphics, and that was something that I didn't see at all on the Xbox side of things. I was like, oh, this is definitely next gen. Like this is crazy, as opposed to all the Xbox games kind of just look like they could be on Xbox One for the most part.
So who
But
did
it's
it better?
strange
If we were
because
voting,
Huh?
one sec. The Xbox Series X is going to have better graphics than PlayStation. Like nobody has denied that. It's just the
but
mathematics
better graphical
of the
power. Better graphical power. It doesn't mean it's going to get utilized.
I guess.
Yeah. I'm not arguing for or against it. I'm just saying, like, I mean, there's shit games that come out for every system, like comparatively to other games on the same system. But if we had to vote, like, who do you think did it better? Like, do you think the PlayStation showcase or the Xbox showcase was better? Sounds like Mark thought the PlayStation one did it a little better, unless it was just the graphics that he thought.
I thought they were dead even. Both just kind of average.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna go through this list. I'm gonna name each one of the games on the list, and you're gonna tell me if you would play that over Bugsnax. Halo Infinite versus Bugsnax.
Yes.
Bugsnax, 100%. State of Decay 3 or Bugsnax?
Bugsnax.
Bugsnax, 100%. Avowed or Bugsnax? The
Bugsnax.
medium, Bugsnax. Cross, Bugsnax. Everyone, Bugsnax. Fable Revive, Bugsnax. And that's all we need to know.
So you're giving it to PlayStation just because we're talking Bugsnax.
We're talking about the actual song came out, by the way.
Yes,
Full
full
release.
song.
I'm gonna post it
I
in the
sent
chat.
it to you immediately when I saw it. Yeah, Jordan, post that in chat. All right, so
And it's actually a lengthy song.
That'll be
Like
fun.
4.5 minutes.
and it's like a famous person.
Yeah.
It's not just like someone on their development
It's a
team.
British pop group. Max,
Who is
why-
it? Drake?
Yeah.
was it Drake?
Yeah.
So
6ix9ine.
So Jordan, are you taking a one great smoke break?
That they smoke.
Yeah. Let's take
All right,
a
so
one
listen,
break. 5
But
minutes.
so just before you take off, here's what we have coming up in the second half. We're going to be talking the spiritual successor of Suikoden. We're going to be talking a potential Hideo Kojima game. We're going to talk Ashes of Creation, which is an MMO that a lot of people are super stoked on. And then the teased return of G4. But when we first come back, what I want to do is, while on break, don't type your top 3 into the chat. But I want everyone to come up with their top 3 flavors of ice cream. And we're going to debate it when we come back. So Jordan, when you're taking those puffs, you better be thinking. We're going to read through before we give ours. So Jess said her favorite flavor is Bugsnax. Oh, wait, no, I'm reading above that now. I'm kidding. So Jess went with cookies and cream, moose tracks, and vanilla. Vanilla, I'm happy that people are putting this in because I was reading a debate online where people were arguing that vanilla is not a flavor, it's just normal. Like, it's normal. And it's like, no, vanilla is a flavor. That is what it is. It's a flavor.
I mean, you could just have ice with no cream. That would be regular.
All right, so we got next. We have Vandy Baby, aka Johnny Sweet Cheeks, butter pecan, coffee, and vanilla. And, all right, so we got vanilla up there in 2 top 3s. So
Well,
far.
can I interject, because
Oh,
there is a big difference, and I found
boy.
this out later in life. You know, after
When
I
did
was a
you find
grown
out,
man,
Jimmy?
balls dropped, the whole shebang.
When did they drop?
Vanilla
Wait, you mean to sound like your balls didn't drop until significantly into your life?
may have been a late bloomer, but that's for a different podcast. Listen, no. Vanilla bean and vanilla are as different as cocaine and peanut butter. And
I
vanilla
don't-
bean is much better. When I see those black sprinkles, the little bits, I'm like, so good. Vanilla
That's
is just
sprinkles.
okay for me.
Okay,
Vanilla
so,
bean is very good.
all right, so
So
don't
I want people
reveal.
to kind of think, like, do you guys just mean regular vanilla, or have you been thinking vanilla bean?
Oh, so now you want clarification?
Yeah, because a lot of people will lump it into one, but it's
It's
dip.
just a standard vanilla.
Okay.
I think that's what everyone's thinking.
So we
Let's go
got
through the list here.
yeah, we got Easy Bake next. Easy Bake 23, aka Bender, aka One Great Bake. Cookies and cream is the only answer. So he doesn't even have, he's never even eaten another flavor of ice cream. It's legitimately, because these are just rankings. So even if the next 2 flavors were shit, I mean, this kid's only eating cookies and cream. So now cookies and cream has 2 votes for number 1 as well, whereas vanilla got 2 number 3s. We all know gold is better than silver. Okay, so then we got Nick coming in.
This is
Flippers
spicy.
93. Black raspberry.
Ew.
Down East double chocolate brownie. Very specific. None of us have ever heard of it or eaten it to call him out on it. And then 3, mint chocolate chip. He gave an honorable mention, but we didn't ask for honorable mentions. So coffee ice cream does not get that vote. Johnny hates ice cream with tons of shit in it. Okay. And then we came back. Nobody else gave theirs? All right, scroll down.
Crawling on me. I don't know if you
All
guys can see
right,
that.
so
on the camera.
Doinks, are you still in here, Hubie? Because I need your top 3. I need it.
I honestly don't even know what mine would be.
While we're
you guys know
waiting-
I'm not a big dessert guy.
He's not a big dessert guy, but all right, you were in the shower. Okay, Hubie, what are your top 3 flavors of ice cream?
Good for the podcast, Dan.
Fudge swirl.
Fudge swirl.
Fudge swirl.
Okay, he's only got 1, or is he still thinking?
But he's only about it. So I don't know if, like, I can't judge how that ranks, like, just to be about something. Like,
I'm about the fudge swirl. Or peanut butter. Okay.
Peanut butter. Straight peanut butter?
He's starting to sound more
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't know
dog
about
than a person, but I'm going to let it slide. And can't really eat ice cream anymore, though. Yeah, so, yeah, RIP to Hubie's ice cream. You know what? His opinion's honestly butt cheeks if he can't eat it, so we shouldn't take him seriously. I'm kidding.
So instead of showing any sort of remorse for him,
Yeah. No, listen, this is a boy who's got Crohn's disease and pretty lactose intolerant, but I do dabble in ice cream. Not as much anymore. I haven't had ice cream in a very long time, but I used to eat it a lot. So I'm going to go to Mark first to get his 3 flavors of ice cream. So you're on the spot. You got a pup chilling in the back. Is that Mambo or Nico? Can't tell the size from here.
It's Nico. Oh, he heard you.
Okay, it's Nico. It's a little baby.
So honorable mention, if we're gonna do one,
No.
No, we're not. We're doing top 3.
But I'm telling you, it's gonna be mint chip. Like that's
All right,
gonna be
honorable
the
mention,
All right,
mint chip.
number 3,
ooh, nice shirt.
double chocolate chunk. Give me some
Okay.
sound effects on the YouTube video. Number 2, vanilla with a brownie. Gotta have the brownie on the side, on top, whatever.
Hot brownie warmed up.
Could be warmed up
Steaming.
right out the oven.
Wheat
I want
brownie?
it melting the ice cream.
No weed brownie.
Okay.
My number one flavor of ice cream, coffee Oreo. That's it. That's
Boom,
the number
banging.
one.
What is coffee? Like, is that?
Yeah,
No,
where do you get that?
yes, I've had it several times. It's amazing.
Coffee Oreo.
Where do you get
I don't want to name names.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
it? What do you have by keeping it? What do you?
Listen, we're,
All right,
we're about
let's
that
just
coffee
go
Oreo.
through the three before we discuss. So let's just go around the horn here. Julian.
Like I said, not a big dessert guy, but vanilla soft serve. I'm the first person to say soft serve. I love soft serve. Vanilla soft serve. I guess coffee, and then my third would maybe. It's like between cookies and cream, cookie dough, and it's like all that shit.
All
That's
that.
your one or your three? Because you didn't. Which way are you going?
This would be my three. Pencil me in for I don't know, peanut butter cup. Little peanut butter cup.
Okay, I don't know how you couldn't just say it like a normal human being, like 3, 2, 1. I still don't know what's going on. Dan,
It
you
went
go.
1, 2, 3.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm going. So I'll go 3, 2, 1. My 3 is mocha chip, or specifically Vienna mocha chunk. I think they call it in whatever. I think it's like Friendly's brand that I used to buy. 2 is cookies and cream, which
cool.
would have been 1, but my 1 is pretty specific. So cake batter, but it's gotta be the yellow ice cream with the chocolate swirls in it. I don't want that shitty Friendly's cake batter with like the white ice creams. It's just vanilla with like sprinkles, colored sprinkles. They're not even sprinkles. It's like just the color from the sprinkles. Bullshit. I need the yellow cake batter, specifically from Yukon Dairy. They got a nice dairy barn, whatever it's called, up in Storrs, Connecticut, middle of fucking nowhere. It is the greatest ice cream I've ever had in my life. Jay can attest to it that I would eat it every single day if I could. My honorable mention is coffee Oreo, because it's very similar to the mocha chunk, which is just coffee ice cream.
I gotta
with
Google
chocolate
coffee
in it.
or ice cream. I gotta see how many.
It's cookies and
manufacturers
it's essentially
actually
cookies and
make it.
cream. It's essentially cookies and cream, but instead of vanilla, it's coffee.
I know, but I feel like you guys just kind of like make this custom, and not a lot of people do it.
No, we didn't make a custom because Mark and I have no
Custom.
experience in the dairy industry. Jordan, what is your top 3?
Oh, I actually do have some experience in the dairy industry.
He does.
I interned. Everyone's talking about coffee ice cream, but I interned for my uncle's company, which makes tea flavored ice cream. So I think this is all bullshit because you guys went like with really specific flavors. So like my favorite ice cream ever was my uncle's masala chai, but I'm not gonna say that. Like no one knows like what masala chai is. So I'm gonna do like actual normal human being flavors. Number 1, strawberry. Number 2, cookies and cream. Number 3, vanilla. I want to talk about how nobody put chocolate anywhere in there.
No, it's actually
that's-
one of my least favorite ice creams.
And
Add
I
the
think it
brownie.
is
Because if you're gonna do
ice cream.
chocolate, like doctor it up.
No, you're taking it. All right. It's much easier to add chocolate than it is to remove chocolate. So let's say I take a vanilla, I put chocolate chips, I put chocolate fudge. You know, I can work with it. Chocolate, you got nowhere to go. There's chocolate sprinkles. Chocolate, you got nowhere to go besides adding more chocolate, and it's just gross.
Dude, chocolate
Facts.
also on a hot summer day, if you get it in a cone, it's very runny. You gotta like work. It's just like constantly like, I don't want to do it on,
And then it just looks like, my
Like who?
ass after Mexican
Okay.
food. So
Okay, so
you're not eating that.
Friendlies and Hood both make coffee, cookies, and cream. So I'll say
Yes.
that it is a legit flavor because it has 2 manufacturers.
I mean, it also
know?
has several, like any small ice cream shop you go to, like you find it.
I'm gonna start looking at the ice cream shop. I might get this ice cream today because it sounds really good. And
All
now
right,
I'm
so
kind of in the
so our
mood.
takeaway from this is that cookies and cream and vanilla, they're up there. I mean, they're in a lot of people's top 3 in this chat, you know? We're talking big things here.
They're just like the OGs. Like you just can't.
Yeah, you
Oh my
can't.
god, it's one of the top things at the local shop. I just went on their website.
See,
Coffee with Oreo.
you're nobody. You're nobody, Jubes.
I started out by saying I don't eat a lot of dessert, and now you motherfuckers are gonna make me go get coffee Oreo ice
No,
cream.
you're getting it today, and we want a book report done when you're done on it. I don't know why it'd be a book report. You're not reading the ice cream, but we need a flavor review.
Can I sexually eat it on I mean, chat, whoever lives near me, let me know when you want to get this ice cream.
Well, yeah, Bender. In Ashley's defense, she doesn't live in the state anymore. She used to live in Connecticut, so apparently Ashley used to get ice cream where she aimed. But she's safe, Bender. She moved to a totally different state with much nicer weather. All right, so
Okay,
we
I don't
got
want
what
this
we
to be
needed.
5
out of
hours.
that. Back to games,
So let's
Jordan. Take us
let's
away.
get into the games here. I'm gonna post this link here. All right, so this is a Kickstarter. We've heard this. I've heard this story a million times before. The original creators of a past, now dormant series launch a Kickstarter saying we're gonna bring it back. It's gonna be the spiritual successor. Very trendy word right now. And yeah, let's go.
Julian.
Julian, take it
Jibs.
away. I wish Polar Paulie was here.
What about Suga? What's Gucci?
Okay, so I beat Suikoden 1. I never played Suikoden 2, and I played a little bit of Suikoden 3 and a little bit of Suikoden Tactics. Suikoden's really just okay for me. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this game comes out. Like I said, it's coming out in 2022. So, it's a spiritual successor to a game that really isn't that unique, besides the fact that Suikoden games have 108 characters based off of the 108 stars of like some Chinese lore kind of thing. So every character is allocated to a star. So that's going to be intact. And then Suikoden also usually has like 3 different battle system styles. It has like the 1v1 rock paper scissors, the
Rock paper scissors.
more like like light attack and things like that. It's like rock paper scissors. And then it's not very great. And then it has a more like war kind of style where you are like commanding armies and moving them on a map. And then it has like your normal everyday action RPG, turn-based RPG combat. So that will probably all be intact. But like I said, this is a Kickstarter. It's coming out in 2022. I'll keep my eye on it, I guess. But there's been a lot of games that have come out, and it's like, yo, we're bringing it back to that 16-bit style. And sometimes it's kind of like the Halo thing. You think it was better than it is today. So we'll see. There's one screenshot. Oh, it is very like 16-bitish. Like you could see like the choppiness of the pixels and all that. But it looks nice. So I guess I'm not gonna kickstart it.
So what happens if the Kickstarter fails? Do they not make the game?
Kickstarter fails.
So
they
they don't
probably
make
won't
the
make the game. Yeah.
Or will they go
Also, I
private
think
funding?
I think it's coming out on PC with console as stretch goals, which it's
Yeah.
gonna hit its stretch goals, but it's probably already fully funded.
Oh, okay. So we
So
don't have to worry about that.
but so I don't
I
know.
was like,
Suikoden 2 is the high point of the series, and I just haven't gotten to that one yet. But they all play pretty similarly, and I really don't think it's gonna blow me away. So Suikoden games are kind of just okay.
they're pretty
So
basic.
we originally had thought, and I think Jordan had originally thought, was that Konami was gonna do these, and it was like we're bringing Suikoden back. So that's not really what it is. So we'll see. But I mean, hey, dude, a lot of banger RPGs have come through Kickstarter. A little game called Divinity was a Kickstarter game. So was Pillars of Eternity. So it could be good. It's just really way too far out to call anything. But it looks pretty cool.
Suikoden was always pretty basic. I like the concept more than I like the games. The only one I really dabbled with was Suikoden 3, which I really should go back and play. You played as 3 different main characters, and it was pretty cool. But I'm just generally happy to see JRPG franchises coming back, being alive, showing that they're still viable. That's basically all I have to say. I'm more of I just hope everyone has fun.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say. I've never played it, and I probably will not be playing this spiritual successor.
So is that like their one big thing? Was that you could? Are those 100 playable characters? You said there's over 100.
Yeah.
108.
That's kind of what they're
108
known
stars,
for.
yeah.
Is being like
There's another game that's known for over 100 playable characters.
League of Legends.
No, well, Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. Hey, stop. Because I was actually watching. So, you get those ads on Instagram, and one of them is like the thing that you put on your abs, and it kind of like pulses your abs into existence. And I was like,
no, that's because you've been searching how to get abs, probably.
No, it's
yes,
really not.
it's targeted.
Although no, my Discover tab is all fitness, just because like that's just how it is. But so
why are you
I
Nick
was like,
Merckx
dude,
in the mic the cam right now? You're like leaned in, so only your forehead was in it.
Oh, because I was looking at my phone. So I went and looked at a review for this because like obviously it doesn't work. So I wanted to see like some big fitness YouTuber like try it for like a month. Smack dab in the middle of the video, not like a YouTube created ad because it's a long video. This guy with the ab machine on apparatus starts going into Raid Shadow Legends.
No fucking way.
I swear on my life, I was gonna send it to you guys, but I didn't want you guys to think that I was looking at the product.
You were though. You were looking at the product.
That's just completely untrue.
Okay, you ended up on the YouTube video. That's all I have to say.
Because I wanted to see someone tear it apart.
Was it an ad for the ab thing, or was it an ad for Raid Shadow Legends?
The kid just started going into Raid Shadow Legends.
Like mid-video.
Yes.
Like doing like a little plug.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll try to find it.
So anyway, I think we can kind of move on to the next one, which Jay seems to be in chat. He's throwing around some, he's throwing around some reckless things, saying Konami garbage. All they care about is pachinko. I don't even know what that is. All right, so Jimmy, we need you here for this one because there are rumors that Hideo Kojima, who is taking a break from nursing Jay at his tit, is possibly working on a new horror game with a legendary manga artist who I don't know.
Can I post links?
Yeah, Junji Ito. Jord, what manga is he known for?
Wait, Jubes isn't a mod. How did he just do that?
I'm not a mod.
He gave him a warning.
Oh no, it got deleted. Oh, it got warning.
He gave him a warning.
Worth it.
So Jord, what manga is this artist known for?
So his name is Junji Ito, and I do not know the specifics of the specific mangas, but what you have to know is that he's known for horror manga.
Okay.
He's a horror artist. So if Hideo Kojima is talking to this guy, it means he's trying to make horror, which goes back to what we all know, which is PT, Silent Hills, the trailer that took the gaming world by storm and then disappeared as suddenly as it came about. So the questions that I had for you guys would be, so let's say that Hideo Kojima does, first off, I got one question. Do you think it would be a PT Silent Hills thing? And number two, would it have the same effect 6 years later when games like Visage have already gone ahead and given us that experience that we wanted from Silent Hills or PT?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll have that same feel. I feel like even if they do release something like this, it's gonna be so hyped up that it's gonna be really hard to live up to the hype in general. And so like going back, when was that teased, Jordan?
2014.
Yeah, so over 6 years ago at this point.
So PT, for anyone in chat who doesn't know, so PT was technically meant to be like playable teaser, right? And it was this small demo of an unnamed game that came out in 2014 apparently, and it had strong Silent Hill vibes. I think it was originally supposed to be like a teaser for a new Silent Hill game that Kojima was working on, and it really just like this small little playable teaser got such a mass like fan base essentially. I mean, I remember I think it was literally probably me, Jordan, Jubes, Jay, and then I don't remember if it was Bender or Mark. So I know there are other people. We were literally huddled in my bedroom playing this game.
We were
in the bed. It was 5 men in a bed. I mean, what went on after that will go unsaid. But we were playing PT together, and we were terrified. I mean, the game was, like Jay said, it revamped and rejuvenated horror as we know it. But that was in 2014, so that's kind of where the question comes in. Where I think Mark's right. If it's going to get so hyped that it's going to be like almost like The Last of Us 2. Like it was so hyped that like it's almost impossible to live up to it.
I want to go back for a sec because I said that PT was one of my 10 out of 10 games. So the way they did it was they went to E3 and they set themselves up as a fake studio and just dropped a playable teaser. And people were playing it. They didn't know how to beat it. And then eventually you see Norman Reedus and it says Silent Hills. But just the gameplay was it was unlike any kind of horror game you've ever played before because it had the first person and you're just going through one hallway over and over and over again. And they hit every single note of like classic creepy horror. You had the clock at 11:59. You had the phone ringing. You had writing on the walls. You had the radio announcer talking about murders and strings of numbers. It was just a horror masterpiece. So you might seem insane to give it 10 out of 10 to a friggin' teaser, but yeah, then the question, because it's been 6 years. We got Visage. People did it, They didn't get to cash in.
But you know
because
what?
What happened with Konami?
I watched Jay play Visage, and it was not on the level of PT. PT was a level of uneasiness that I don't think will ever be recreated again. And you could just tell from the start of Visage that it just was not going to hit the same points as well as PT did it. I mean, for a while, like I knew every word of the radio broadcast when he's talking about the murder. Just everything was perfect. Like you said, it's a 10 out of 10.
The baby in the
One of the
sink.
best games of all time.
Oh my god, the ghost. Yeah, god. PT was terrifying. I don't think I'll be able to play a full game version of it.
I thought Visage was actually solid. I couldn't get through Visage.
I'll have to watch Jay play it.
Visage, the camera, the fact that you were seeing through a camera, so it was like you just see a glimpse of light and then you have to keep moving. That was genius. That was great. I thought that was one great thing that they added.
One great thing.
One great thing. All right, here we go. The next big thing of this podcast: Ashes of Creation. We're gonna let Jubes take away most of it. Let me just give it a quick introduction. It's a Kickstarter by Intrepid Games, and every so often we get this MMO that comes about. We hear rumors about it, and it's saying that it's going to change MMOs. It's going to spice up the formula that's kind of been so dead for the past decade, and it seems like they never ever deliver. They always just end up reverting back to that classic MMO formula that everyone's gotten so tired of. So, Jibs, is this the game is this gonna be the next WoW? Is this gonna take MMOs to the next step?
Okay. Now, let me first say that I've only played one game through through Endgame, which is Final Fantasy 14. So I've played that for 7 years. I've gotten to max level. I've played through the Endgame. I know the game. I've been max level in Neverwinter. I've been max level in Guild Wars 2. But never really went through the end game and played it like deep like that. However, though, I hear a lot about of other games. People on Reddit and stuff will bring up other games. So I know a little bit of what's going on in the timelines of many MMOs like Final Fantasy 11 and WoW. So, and then I've also, and Josh for a long time, like his home screen, like when he booted up, Google Chrome was like MMOHUT.com. Like, and he was on the next one every month. Okay, every MMO comes out with unbelievable hype. There is so much fucking shit in MMOs. You guys could never truly fathom it unless you play it all the way through, and you have to understand how all of these mechanics, they're interlinked, okay? And all it takes is one of those things to be a little askew, whether it be how much EXP it gives, how much of this it gives, how easy it is. And the whole game could be turned upside down over those most small things. Next, I'll say is that MMO players are a different breed. And we come from a very strong competitive background. We grew up playing, split screen games. We've done a lot in online games, Siege, all that kind of stuff. So it'd be very hard for you guys to really capture the mindset of MMOs. And Jordan played a little bit of FF14. And what made you stop playing? Was it the game or was it the players?
But you're talking about competition in a PvE aspect, right? Because most of the people who play MMOs don't play PvP.
I'm talking about everything and just how an MMO just works and how it comes together as one cohesive game.
Yeah, they take it super serious, and yeah, they're obnoxious. They're really obnoxious. But anyways,
Okay.
and I'm not talking about we don't want to talk about balance. We want to talk about mechanics. What is this? Every game
but
says
here's
it's going
the,
to do
the
something
mechanics
different.
and the balance are the same, are one and the same.
Just assume it's perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
That's just not something.
That's all things should be.
Okay. All right. So these are my bullet points after I watched the trailer. Okay. So the first thing I put up, and which a lot of people in the comments mirrored, was EverQuest Next. So EverQuest Next was supposed to be the next EverQuest game, and what it was supposed to be a sandbox MMO. So you could do anything. The world was constantly changing and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, they came out. They canceled it. People said, "Why are you canceling EverQuest Next? We were so hyped on it. We wanted to build our own towns. We wanted this, ever-changing world." And they just flat out said, like, we could not make it fun. And we saw a little bit of this with that whole DayZ kind of thing, where everybody, and then Sea of Thieves, it happened in Sea of Thieves too. This big sandbox thing always sounds great, but it's always hard to do because people are not going to value their life in a game like they do in real life. So it never works out that way. So that was the first thing I wanted to bring up. The only one that kind of does it okay is EVE Online, but it has a very small community of people who are dead ass about it, and they're ready to take the L's, if that's how the cards fall in their place. Now, in FF14, everybody wants to be able to have fun. Okay, so there's no like, oh, well, you beat the hardest stuff, so you get the best gear. It can't be like that. It's a completely different mindset from what we're used to, of where the best players get the best, rewards, and the best players are the best players. You could be the best player in the world, but everybody will cry if they can't have the cool new gear. So nothing could be gated behind skill, because everybody at the end of the day just wants to dress up their bunny characters.
So Ashes of Creation, one of the big things is that it's tossing that out the window, though.
And that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're saying that the players won't want to play it?
The players will think it's cool for a little bit, but eventually everybody has to play nice.
Yeah, so I could see that being a downfall, but so that's what's really cool.
The second thing I wrote is lots of community gameplay elements that haven't seemed to play out that well in my MMO experiences. So we have one, off-peak playing. So, I mean, this is going to be really hard if you guys didn't watch the trailer. I think Hale said that he did, Mark.
I'm the one who sent you the video.
No, yeah. So I don't know if Jordan did, but also chat too. So like off-peak playing. So, you got this nice little town. well, you're all asleep, so we're gonna attack it. The game is gonna be absolutely littered with Chinese bots, just farming items and selling it and destroying the economy. That's a given. That happens in every MMO ever, but it's a bigger deal in this kind of MMO because this is going to be so player interaction based. So just the flood of the Chinese bots in general is already going to be a big issue. Faction populations. I tried to play what was that big shooter that Sony has? PlanetSide 2.
Oh, I think
just,
Mag.
No, but well that
Mag.
no, because that was still locked. But PlanetSide 2, like whatever the most populated faction is just going to be the one that steamrolls everybody, just through pure
Numbers.
So there actually is. So Nick agrees with me, but they did try to mask it by saying like you can only PvP at 8 p.m. prime time. You know, I don't think that's going to be enough though.
No, but there's also so I think you're giving your points, but you haven't given any information about the game yet. So I think the points.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the
this
points
is
you're
trash.
making
I
are not
don't know
making
anything.
sense because they don't know about the game. So let me give you just like the basics of this because I think it counterpoints a lot of what you're saying, or it goes it coincides with what you're saying. So the whole point that Julian made about in WoW, like you go on a raid, the player who does the best doesn't get better items than you. Like everyone kind of gets that shit because they were taking a part of it, or it's all kind of random based on a percentage. No, they have made it very clear in these opening videos about Ashes of Creation that like this is not gonna be fair. Like this is not your whatever you want to call it, millennial or Gen Z. Everybody gets a participation trophy. No, there's going to be towns built around these nodes where you vote in a player as a mayor. That mayor is the leader of that town. He's going to get better shit than you. There's going to be flying mounts like WoW, but everyone doesn't just grind out 60 hours and they get a flying mount. They said at any point in each server, there's going to be 8 to 10 people who can access a flying mount. The only people who get them are mayors of major cities or metropolises, and then people that do like a specific legendary quest, and then they said the chance of it dropping will probably limit to like 2 players who access the mounts like that. So it's not going to be like, we all get on for shits and giggles, you grind it out to get to this level, you go on a raid, everybody gets the same shit. No, the people who put in more time are going to get better items. The other
How
thing,
do you even get to be mayor? You gotta
get voted in.
Trail.
You have to get voted. Yeah, you got to get voted in. You need to be showing that you are there for the community. The other thing that Julian just brought up is these off-peak, whether it's a raid or attack or a war. So Nick said in chat, anything where you can get raided or attacked while offline will never be fun. Well, Ashes of Creation has come out to say there will be warnings. So when you declare that you're going to attack a city or I think the metropolis is like the biggest ones, you get a certain amount of days of prep time for this war, and when it's going to happen. So if it's a major city, a metropolis, I think it was something like 5 days warning. So you get to strategize, you get to, try to clear your schedule, I guess, if you're someone, you make sure you could be available to help out at that time. The smallest amount of warning I saw was 2 days. So like even if you're in a small village, if someone declares war, they can't just come in and rape and pillage. Like that's not how it is. Like everyone's asleep. Like, okay, we're gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and raid this place. No,
I picture like the opening scene in Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
everyone's
literally
grabbing weapons and doing the songs and drums.
Yeah, literally. So
get
5
that days for a major city.
Right. So get that PTO approved, boys, because otherwise you're losing everything. So I think there's a lot of things that would have helped with Julian's takes if you had known it off the bat. I know not everyone in chat went and watched that video. I think it's a really interesting video.
I said that the PvP was going to be locked to prime time and things like that.
Right, but I think like knowing that you have 5 days, like it's not like 8 p.m. 7:59.
Okay,
you're like, oh shit, we're getting raided.
Okay, so let me tell you something too. This is a nice big secret, but it's not really a secret though.
Ooh.
Open world big PvP and MMOs fucking sucks donkey dick.
Okay.
Okay? In every single iteration of it. I don't care if you're on FF, if you're on WoW, if you're on ESO, if you're on Guild Wars. It sucks.
He said it.
Too much spells, too much shit going on. It's zergy, it's spammy. Nobody in
I
the
don't,
world of
Julian, I don't
fantasy
know
PvP
what we
combat.
are talking about. What is open world MMO combat? I don't. What is it?
Like big battle.
Like it's mass battle.
like 50 on 50 PvP.
Yes,
That's what
yeah,
you're saying.
not arena PvP. Not arena PvP where you queued with 4 boys. Okay, we have healer, mage, and things like that. All
All
right.
right. Can I come in? Because I think if we just link just all the autism that's occurred in the past 15 minutes, I can make something coherent between my questions, Julian's response, and Dan's explanation. All right. So there are MMOs, and there are your tried and true MMOs, and there are people that frequently try to do a certain group of things to be different. However, there are downfalls to every single one of those, which eventually leads it to fail. Dan has said that this company is taking precautions to make sure that those
Failures
pitfalls
don't happen.
do not
Yeah.
reoccur.
But they're trying
is
to.
that what we is that a good explanation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I'm on the outside. I don't play MMOs. I think they're so corny and boring. And but all I ever see is stage 1, this MMO is going to change the world. Stage 2, oh wait, it didn't turn out like we thought. And it's just like an endless process for the
So
past 10 years. We haven't had a good MMO.
yeah, so some of the mechanics that people are excited for are these nodes that there's nodes on the map and you can build it's like basically the events occur around these nodes. Now in each server, the nodes are randomized. Then there are certain you can activate nodes, you can upgrade nodes based on the activity that's happening around them. The problem is only so many nodes can have stuff going on at the same time. So they're saying that every server will be infinitely different because somebody can activate a different node and one of those nodes that doesn't have much activity anymore starts to degrade. So like there's always stuff changing on the map. That's one of the things that, big like NMP, Tim the Tap Man, these people who came from WoW, they're all excited about. The other thing is, the better players get better things and stuff is limited. So that was another one. Something that, and I don't play WoW or anything, but something that, these people have been mentioning is that when you move your shit, if you hoard a ton of items and you want to relocate or move them, you just swap them in a menu, I guess, in most MMOs. You need to hire transports to bring your shit. Like if it was real life, if you have a village worth of shit and you want to move to expand, you have to create a caravan. So they anticipate, the game makers say like this will create like jobs. Like there will be mercenaries who you can hire to either defend your caravan for a price or to attack a caravan and say whatever we plunder from that person who's moving, like if like some big player is moving all their shit, like Asmongold is moving all his shit, you can hire mercenaries and get a group together to try to raid that, almost like like in the Wild West, like train robbers. So like they think that will create a lot of like interesting play and mechanics that didn't really work so much in other games. The other thing is that all of these things, like Julian said, are great points in theory, but if executed poorly, will derail the game because it'll be not fun.
So yeah, let me just jump in really quick. All that sounds great, but sometimes when these games try to get too realistic, it just isn't fun. They also mentioned that
FF11 syndrome.
Yeah, they also mentioned that like there'd be limited amount of fast travel in this game too, and like that kind of just turns me off right away. I'm almost 30 now. Like I don't want to spend an hour running from place to place.
Right.
No, exactly, and that's why games aren't made like FF11 anymore. What it is really is that this isn't an MMO. It's a sandbox without the permadeath, and it has progression. That's more what it is. It's Sea of
Sounds
Thieves.
more like Eve Online to me.
It's Sea of Thieves with progression, with a guy who levels up in some hotbar skills. But this is not really an MMO. But in that video that I watched, Dan, that you told me to watch, there's 2 completely different gameplay footage. There's one where it looks very like Destiny-ish, and his only hotbar is like QT and E, but then there was a completely different way he was playing, and it was like it was just a normal tab target WoW setup.
So do you
So
think
that was
maybe
kind of
that's like
sketch.
maybe that's the difference between PvE and PvP? I don't know.
Maybe,
What-
but that's really weird. One thing I will say is that no box price, but still having a subscription fee. It's interesting. But dude, I don't think people are gonna. I don't know if people are gonna pay a subscription to play this game.
Listen, so this is this, and that's exactly what I said to Jess about it. I said subscription has always turned me off of MMOs. So because it's like, you know, I might not play it
Subscription
that
is
much.
the saving grace of MMOs.
So because yeah, because it keeps right. It keeps whatever. Anyway, just to stick to my point. But these people that are seeing this, that play WoW, like, I mean, NMP on his stream, Tim, they literally just said, "How do I get into this game?" They want into the early access because they're doing the early access in phases throughout the next year and a half, where they're going to be letting people in, letting people stream. They're going to have no embargo on, you know, what you can stream and what you can tell people. They want it to be like all encompassing so that they could fluidly fix what is not working, or what is not fun. But these people are on stream watching this video and then pulling up the website and just instantly buying like the top package to get early access, to get all the shit that that they can get right now that'll benefit them down the line as being early people that bought in. And these are top MMO streamers. I don't know if they're still top players. I know Asmongold is, and they're like all in on this game already with just the limited stuff we've seen.
But like, are you gonna pay a subscription fee, Dan, so that your caravan could get raided and all the shit that you worked really hard for, just you lose?
Right, and that's what Nick said.
Like this stuff is way too toxic for me to even say that this is an MMO. Like I know Doinks is in the chat. So Doinks, when you cleared A4S, that took you about 6 months to do. How would you feel if someone just raided you and killed you on the street and took the weapon that you got from that? Like that, it just doesn't make sense. Like this isn't an MMO. Yeah, 4 months just to beat that one fight. And
No,
someone's just
I mean,
gonna just gank you
and
on
I'm
the
not saying
street.
that's going to
You
be the
can't-
mechanic. It might be that they get
No, but I'm saying
rewards
it's like a
for
lot of this-
stopping you, and maybe you get penalized, but you don't lose your items or something. I don't know.
The next point that I wrote was that this game is trying to do many things. Everything will probably be just okay, but most MMO players only do a few things in the game. Like I still only play a very small portion of what is offered in FF14. Doinks, he only did raids and he didn't care really about anything else. So for when it's just okay at a bunch of things, everybody is still just going to end up with an okay experience because not everybody is going to want to really dig into every cool aspect. A lot of people just want to role play. A lot of people just want to take down big game and don't really care too much about building all these cities and electing mayors. It's just way too much. It's way too much. I also said that it looks way too PvP focused. They didn't really show anything about like raids and how they're going to play out and if they're even going to be fun. And lastly, I said, does the lack of a preset world hurt? Because I mean, there's obviously going to be no story here. There can't be a story. There might be some prologue and some
right.
So some like disposition of what's going on in this world. But at the end of the day, it's completely community driven. But the reason why people love WoW and they love Final Fantasy is because these are big worlds that we've been in and we've loved. And you know, anybody who plays FF14 will tell you that the story is just as good as any of the single player ones. And everybody in their own game is the hero, you know, and everybody else is just on the sidelines. So we all get to be our own hero. We all get to be the super strong, overpowered guy. And then another thing that Mark mentioned, it's just people don't want to do that shit anymore. Like that hyper realism, no fast travel, only one person can fly. It's just I don't know. So am I buying or am I selling? I'm selling hard.
Ooh.
Buy
I
or
don't-
sell.
I think this is. I can see it coming out, and then the subscription fee gets dropped, and then once that subscription fee gets dropped, because they can't sustain it and they can't rationalize it, then all that free to play cash shop shit's gonna come. And I just think the Chinese bots alone are just gonna destroy this game.
All
And
right,
trust
we're
me,
getting
people are gonna buy, and they're gonna
all right.
buy the
Stop it.
shitty jobs that no one wants to do, like be a little mason and make a fucking
Stop
wall
it.
and stuff.
We're getting close to 2 hours here, so we got to wrap this one up.
So big Sal. Anybody who plays MMOs and is not a big streamer that has to hype the game up because he knows he's gonna make money off it will tell you that this is too much.
Okay. So the game is trying to do a bunch of things, and a lot of the things they're doing could backfire. You know, oh, it's super competitive. Well, you might leave casual players behind. Oh, you can raid people. Oh, you might get griefed. It's super realistic. You have to hire caravans. Oh, well, you know, now it's boring, and you know that's not why I play video games, to deal with the bullshit of real life, et cetera, et cetera. And then Nick said something interesting. He said, Black Desert was so hyped that it ended up basically being a fishing simulator, so you can get tons of money with low effort, which goes back to Jubes' first point, which is that you could have 5 million things in your game. If one of them is broken, then nobody even pays attention to the rest of them. Like, why are you going to do anything else when you could just fish and get all the money you need? You know, because that's how the MMO players are. They're so, like, min-max, and they're like, I got to be the best. I got to have the best armor.
I'm picturing a world where Tim the Tap Man is mayor of some node and Dan is immediately a year subscription. And
No, I get
I'm telling you,
so
the
overwhelmed by MMOs.
the people, someone like Asmon Gold has a very strong stake in that game because he could hype it up, and people like to watch that kind of stuff, like watch Sea of Thieves, watch DayZ, because it's so community driven. But like I'm talking about the MMO players, I don't think the MMO players are gonna care about this. We just want to play a good story, take down some big game, and get some cool armor for our bunny
Yeah,
girls.
but I don't think I think Asmon Gold is not going to be affected because if he's not playing that Ashes of Creation, he's still going to keep all his 40,000 viewers that he gets when he plays WoW. So like I don't think it's going to affect him as much as you think. I think that they're excited that maybe it'll be good or it'll push MMOs forward for WoW to make some of those changes that people like from that, and then everyone comes back to WoW. So
no, nobody from WoW or Final Fantasy would want any of these mechanics.
But are we really trying to push MMOs forward when the biggest release has been WoW Classic? We were going backwards.
Yeah. If anything, we just want to level up and take down big games.
Julian, Final Fantasy has become so casualized. Everything in there is so simple. Everyone gets everything they want. Nobody gets mad. Nobody gets sad.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's how MMO players are.
I think that game's hardcore. Turbo.
We can go on for hours about what's wrong with MMOs and the players that play them, but we're gonna move on.
MMOs, like Dan said, overwhelm me.
Yes, I'm too overwhelmed. I don't have the time. I have a full-time job. I have a life that stops me from investing that much into, a game like that seems like so much time needs to be spent if you want to have any significance in the community. So we're going to talk about something that was teased a couple days ago, G4 TV. I don't know how many people in chat grew up watching G4, but they teased a 2021 comeback. And I don't think anyone thinks it's going to be a TV network. I think it's going to be more online based or on a streaming platform. But
probably Peacock, if I had to guess.
Before we get into the discussion, I just want to go around the horn, buy or sell one word. Okay?
For
Mark,
what? Ashes?
For G4 return. G4 return. Mark?
Sell.
Julian?
Sell.
Dan?
Bye.
Me? I'll push. No, I gotta say one. I'm selling.
You guys know it's a competitor, right?
So,
technically it's a competitor to us. I don't know why we're promoting it.
I think that it's gonna, it'll be on a streaming platform. I think it's gonna try to probably bring back the same essence that Attack of the Show and
that hyper cringe shit
and X-Play. Is that what it's called? X-Play?
X-Play.
What was his name?
Adam Sessler.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yeah, Jubes doesn't really have anything good to say about anything besides Bug Snacks. So I think that this could be an utter failure or it could be good. But if they brought back a show like Attack of the Show, it would have a lot of nostalgia. But I think that there's a lot more for them to cover now. I think they could come up with a lot of streamer-based content, which leads to the other question. Do we think this has anything to do with Dr. Disrespect's breach of contract? Could his TV show that's in the works be something that is going to be on a G4? Or could it be somewhere that these larger streamers could end up getting
Dude,
jobs?
You're just literally pulling out of your ass.
That's what I am doing. I'm saying, like, could it be that? Like, could we see content similar to that, where you see these big streamers that maybe move into this? And then again, like I mean, G4 growing up, to me, like I used to watch Attack of the Show. I would watch X Play sometimes with Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb. Attack of the Show was Kevin Pereira. He's now got a very successful podcast based on it. I mean, it's called Attack. It's more interview based and so forth now. But growing up, you know, that was something I used to watch because like I didn't want to go scour the internet for information. So this is somewhere I could see new trailers for games that I may have not heard of. Even like I remember around Christmas time, they did all the tech reviews of like things you might buy for people. And it was just it was like a fun like talk show type. I had a huge crush on Olivia Munn. And that's where she got started. I was
the real reason.
I was a big fan of Kevin Pereira. I still follow him on Twitter, and I couldn't tell you, like G4 kind of wrapped up, I think, when we were in college. I mean, it's been probably a decade, and G4 went to pure shit at the end, where it was literally running Cops episodes for 18 hours of the 24-hour day.
Cops?
I swear to God.
Cops.
Well, it
kind of got like MTV-ified.
Yeah. So, I mean, if G4 goes back to their roots, this could be something that's pretty cool to check out, even if it's just like a weekly thing. You know, I'm interested in seeing what they do and how it's going to compete with something like, you know, just Twitch or Cheddar TV. Like Cheddar TV kind of tried to get into that where they're covering esports. And I used to check that out. It used to come it still does. I think it's like free on Samsung TV, smart TVs, where you could just click over and watch Cheddar TV. They had a pretty interesting segment that I used to watch on esports. They used to cover Overwatch a lot when I was big into Overwatch. But even that, I mean, once those people started getting recognized, they would leave and go get jobs at other places that could afford to pay them more.
But like, was anybody asking for this?
No, absolutely not. So it started out with G4 and Game Informer. Then once everybody got the internet, it was like, okay, IGN, yeah. Like, why do I need the magazine? Why do I need to watch this cringy ass show? I got everything I need on IGN and GameSpot. And then once YouTube took off, it was like, okay, now I just have like these 2 YouTube channels. I trust these guys. You know, they're at my preferred level of cringe jokes because, you know, there's a little spectrum. And you just kind of chill with them. There's so many small pockets of great knowledge that are like just self-run on the internet. I mean, just even like kind of funny, just realized it first when they were like, we're bigger than IGN now. Like no one cares about IGN, they care about us. And they went and made their own thing. And then Colin went and made his own thing. You know? So I don't think anybody cares, and I don't think anybody was asking for it. And it's not like, so you on air from 2002 to 2014. Are you going to look at that and be like, oh, yeah, it died because gaming died, right? No, the gaming was on the rise. So if gaming is on the rise and your gaming show plummets, like,
well, I mean, you can look at it.
What's your take on that?
You can look at it from a business side, and I'm not saying like this might just be like, oh, the nostalgia's there for a month and now it's a big failure, which is the most likely outcome. But I mean, if you look at it from a business side, it was because the people in charge who had the network didn't care about gaming ever. So they tried to shift like, oh, like people love watching like these dramas or these like Cops, shit like Cops. Like the people that are sitting at home at 3 p.m. want to watch Cops, not realizing there's a demographic of college students that do watch stuff during the day. and that probably wanted to watch things like Attack of the Show or
But the problem was that the gamers that were watching G4 were not the kind of gamers like us. That was why they could play cops, because it was just dude bros on their Xbox 360 playing Madden.
I guess, but I think it's more of a like, why did G4 fail? It was more because of the business decisions that were made and shift away from gaming when gaming was getting huge. And I think if they had shifted to cover more, like think of G4 in 2012 or 2011 started shifting to covering more like let's like show like League of Legends players. Let's show tournaments, League of Legends tournaments, even if they're like more local or if they're run by G4. That would have made them go either not fail or gain some traction, but instead
But we were already picking up on Twitch at the time.
So earlier,
Twitch was supposed to be like where the gamer gamers went.
Yes.
You know?
So Twitch,
not the Chad Bro chills.
So Twitch is kind of why G4 failed, but also because G4 here was the fork in the road, and Twitch went left and G4 went right because they had probably 60-year-old execs sitting there making the decisions, thinking gaming was a fad. And that's why it failed. It's all going to depend on who's the leadership, who's making the decisions, and what kind of content they could pull that can compete with something like Twitch or even like just regular TV.
I don't know, dude.
You have to hit a medium.
It's gonna be the same, just low hanging cringe jokes.
All right. Let's back up a sec. It's like the first time I say a sentence about something new, I get a 30-minute rant from Jubes a day.
Yeah.
Because we're on such heated opposite ends.
Breathe. All right. So let's just talk about the basics of this thing. G4 was on the air from 2002 to 2014. It was on one of those premium channels that I could never afford. One of my friends had it. We used to watch it in the basement. What's interesting about this is that it's being revived by Comcast NBC. They merged and whatnot. And people are saying that it's going to be coming out on their new Peacock streaming service. Big question that we've already kind of gotten into is what would the content be like today as opposed to now? And then you also have to think that we were watching this at 17. Now we're 30.
Right.
Could the content be, if it was to be to 17-year-olds, we probably wouldn't be into it. But that's what we were doing when we were 17. So maybe it's not even for us. And how are they going to compete with Twitch? You know what I'm saying? We already talked about a lot of this, and you were talking about like League of Legends and stuff like that. I don't think there's a point to that because every developer is pretty much already hosting their own esports stuff.
Yeah,
so,
my point was that they could have jumped on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? The past is
and
the
they
past.
Didn't. Yeah, and they didn't. That's why they failed.
It's over. We're talking about the rebirth here and where it really fits in the scale of IGN, YouTube, Twitch. Does it have a place? Or is this going to be like MySpace came back with Justin Timberlake?
IGN also does their daily fix videos, and they post them on Snapchat stories, and I click them sometimes, and it's just a decently looking girl telling garbage cringe jokes.
Sydney Goodman.
But
she's a medium of now.
But let me just say, like, G4 is like our generation. New, like, young kids that are playing games now are not even gonna know who these people are, or didn't even know it existed. So my thinking is, like, if they try to make content for like kids like that, why are kids gonna flock to that show? They don't even know who these people are. Mostly it's gonna be people like our age flocking to that show first because of nostalgia wise. So are they gonna make content for us? I don't know what direction they're gonna go or what kind of content they're gonna go. Are they just gonna be like this gaming tech talk show and have guests in the gaming tech area? Or I don't know. I just don't know what it's going to bring. How is it going to be unique? Why should we watch this? I guess
I know. Why would you ever like?
And we're going to have to pay for it.
Covering games.
A lot of people don't have cable. Yeah, a lot of people don't have cable. You're going to have to, pay for Peacock or whatever to watch this.
Well, I think it'll be a tack on, right? Because Peacock's big thing is going to be The Office and stuff like that. Like, they're going to have other. It's not going to be just you pay for G4. There's no way that would fail instantly.
Own Hulu?
I think so.
No.
So why are they doing another one?
Disney owns I think a minority stake in Hulu.
It's a joint venture between Disney.
Disney
and
owns 50% of Hulu maybe now.
Yeah, between Comcast. Comcast is NBC. But anyways, what if they did it What if it was a 24/7 Twitch channel?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. This could be a huge failure, or they could find something that.
But like, why need that? A lot of TVs that you can get the Twitch app, you can watch whoever you want. You're not like forced to watch whoever's on G4.
What Hales is saying is there's no niche.
Yeah.
So what if they had? All right. So what if they were able to pull talent from, like, what if they started a talk show, right? That was like the Courage and 8-Shot show, right? They got these streamers are like train wrecks. Like, you get these people that already do this on Twitch, and people tune in and watch in the tens of thousands. If they can get these creators to do anything related to their show, like, people are gonna go watch. Like, if Dr. Disrespect is an example, but like, what if they got like, oh, like Ninja's on this show like once a week? Like, people will tune in and watch if they watch an Ninja stream.
But at that point, I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it like G4 original content. If they do that, that's just siphoning Twitch.
No, but that would still be original content. It's just like when TNT pays Shaquille O'Neal to come talk NBA with them. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same concept.
Okay, yeah. If they siphon Twitch's fame, then yeah, I guess they could do okay. But as far as original people with original shit, I don't see anything good coming out of it.
Dude, like, imagine like back when we were.
Yeah, and it's almost 12:30.
Like, imagine when we were in college and you guys were like watching shit about like the fucking League of Legends houses. Imagine if they came out with like a reality TV show just strictly about what was going on in the house.
They did.
Yeah,
They did, and I never watched it.
We're talking about the return.
I understand, but I'm saying like stuff like that could still exist. There's still these gaming houses now. You're just older.
Yeah, they missed the ball. They dropped the ball. You got
I'm saying these kids would probably watch.
I think that their best bet, if this isn't what I want it to be. This is my best bet. Their best bet is to go full Zoomer, and to have a bunch of memes and silly shit, and bring on Ninja and all that. That's their best bet, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there who's so ahead of the curve that they're hitting like people my cousin's age, who's I think 11. There's nobody hitting that market yet. And the first person that will, which is all the goofy memes and Fortnite and all that, I think that's their best bet. Maybe you have like a Adult Swim kind of section for people like us, but
yeah,
the internet just changed everything, man. There's so many places you can get information, so many places you can get entertainment that it's almost impossible to differentiate yourself. It's not like there was no streaming, so there was only TV, and they were the only TV channel devoted to games. What else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna watch?
I agree. Could be a big fail.
And like I said, like I'm already so seasoned. Like I don't need game coverage. Well, first off, I do my own game coverage now for this. But like I said, like okay, this guy's making this kind of game. This will probably be okay. I'll look at it a week before it comes out.
Wiggles internet. But dude, you could just like the offline TV house. You could make like a reality show about it, and the Zoomers will eat it up, dude. They love it. Let the Zoomers. Let them zoom.
I just said that, and you were like, you skewered me for it.
Let the Zoomers zoom.
Yeah, let them zoom, dude. Like Mazda.
All right, we gotta call it. This is so.
Yeah. All right, so let us know what you want to see covered in coming weeks. We're obviously gonna keep talking about gaming news that comes up, but I think we're gonna try to set some time aside in each podcast going forward where we cover a specific topic, even if it's like, hey, what was your favorite retro game, stuff like that. So please let us know like topics. Yeah, besides Bug Snacks, that's going to get covered every single week, we promise. And yeah, let us know, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just comment or DM us and give us some ideas of where you want to see this go and what you like to see us covered, what you don't, whether you want to argue shit like ice cream flavors or if you want
how much stock you have in G4.
Yeah,
right.
Dude, Danny's building the time machine.
Yeah, we're going back. Yes, and check out onegreattake.com where we review games, movies, TV shows, and post articles relative to those topics, related to those topics. thanks for checking us out. We're actually gonna stream. I'm gonna end this stream and then take a little break, and then we're gonna pop back on. And Bender, me, and Nick are gonna try to play Rocket League for the first time in 4 years, and we will be the worst trio NA. So if you want to check that out, we'll be on in a little bit. But thanks everyone for stopping by. Any closing comments from the other three of you? Or are we good?
We out.
We out.
Yeah, we're good.
Peace.
See ya.